Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Hawashai Hashem Makakadash. And yeah, man, I just had to quickly find out where the east was, which it's that way. And even then, man, even then, you can get these scriptures, man. So, yeah, man. Let's get started with Werewolf 3. Werewolf 3. That's how we'll get started with Werewolf 3. And the reason why I say that is because just things today, man. Things today has pushed me towards going towards Werewolf 3, man. And that's how we're going to talk about Werewolf 3. So let's get this one more pass. Yeah, here we go. Revelation 9 and 12. And it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more. Actually, no, let me read that again. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. And that first woe that it's talking about is that first destruction being World War One. And then after that, it goes on to as it says, there comes two woes more hereafter. Meaning there's two more wars. But we know, according to history, we know that World War II has officially happened. So let's get this Revelation 11 and 14. It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe will be in World War III, man. In which it's written right here, right now. Well, the Lord said World War III is going to happen, and it's going to happen, man. It's as simple as that. And and let me head and go to let me get Revelation 9 real quick. Here we go. Here we go. And as it says, Revelation 9 and 15, it says, so the four angels who had been prepared for the appointed hour and day and month and year were released. were released to kill a third part of men. And that third part of men being Edomites, man. Being so-called Edomites, which today they'll be known as white people. But and then if you want to go into it, when I say white people, when I say white people, I mean in the sense of how they originally look. Even then, according to the scriptures, you know what the scriptures talk about. You know what the scriptures talk about. What's it called? Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, not confusion of face. I forgot the words called, man. Yeah, Israelite foreigners who are basically Israelites that have been scattered among these other nations, man. So yeah, they could come looking like so-called so-called white people or Arab or what's it called Indian, Punjabi, along the lines like that, man. And that's going out to all nations anyway, because the Lord said He was going to gather us from all nations. But yeah, going to like it says let me read that again. That's funny. So the four angels you had been prepared for the appointed hour and day and month and a year were released to kill a third of mankind. And like I said, this talking about Edomites, man. This is definitely talking about Edomites. And it's crazy. All these people came up to see the chariots and the chariots hid themselves. The chariots hid themselves. Essentially, there's one up there, but it's been covered by the clouds now. And there was one that was flying over here. But anyway, you can see the videos on my phone. They were definitely here. Yeah, like I was saying, the third part I'm in, as I mentioned here, Amos, Amos, what's this? Oh, it doesn't even have a search button. We got Amos 9. Amos 9 and 11. Actually, let me start verse 9. Actually, no, let me start verse 8. And it says, Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem HaShai. It says, are upon the sinful kingdom. That sinful kingdom being the door of Babylon, also known as America. Crazy, bro. A brother just uploaded the black woman comes before God, which we obviously know that's a bunch of lies, man. And this is what the Lord's gonna judge you two first, man. So like he said, behold, the eyes of the Lord, power being Yahweh B'Shem HaShai, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. And then again, that being America, man, the Lord will destroy off the face of the earth. But as he says, saying that I will not only destroy the house of Jacob, being the 12 tribes of Israel, being the Negro, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, being the Mexicans and also the Seminole Indians. And then you also got the Israelite foreigners that are being scattered abroad too, who may not look like those people that I just made mention, but their bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So like it says, Yes, like it says, saving that I will not only destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Hawashai. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Let me read that again. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So there you go, man. The Lord is going to do the gathering. Like literally the Lord is doing the gathering, man. There's nothing that we can do except tell people what's going to happen. That's it, man. That's all we can do. Tell people what's going to happen. That's it. And it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So yeah, man. Here they are in this wicked ass. There they are over there in America, in a wicked ass place, thinking they're gonna continue to do their evil. But now, man, the Lord's got something for them. The Lord's got something for them. And it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So yeah, man, being the house of David, man, being the servants of prophets, the Lord was going to cause them to come back, man. And that being men from the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Dead music. That's all I can say, dead music, man. You know, it says that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, says the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai that doeth this. So yeah, man, that third part of men that were killed, they were Edomites, man. As it makes mention, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, man, being the ones that are still alive. That person's weird, man. I swear, that person's weird, but he's up there right now. He's up there right now with the lights on, staring out the window, thinking that's gonna do anything. No, that ain't gonna do nothing. And let's carry on. But yeah, like it says here, Revelation 9 and 16. So let me click on here. So it makes mention here, man, as the word of mankind. It mentions that that's talking about literally, it's literally talking about a human, and essentially it's talking about those Edomites, man. And it's just the number of the troops of the cavalry. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. So the number of the troops of the cavalry was twice 10,000 times 10,000. Or as it says here, 200 million. I heard the number of them. So John literally letting us know right there, man. He heard the number of those missiles, man. And the reason why the missiles are so large is because going to one ICBM, you can house around. Well, let's go into the Satan 2. You can house around how many missiles? Around 9 large nuclear missiles. That's exactly what the Satan 2 can handle. Or should I say that's why it can put out 9 nuclear missiles inside one ICBM. And now imagine all those ICBMs that the nations have, man. And what do you think they're going to do to America? There's gonna be hella missiles, man. And this is how I saw the horses and their riders in my vision. And that literally talking about those intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. It said the riders had breastplates the color of fire and of hasnif or sapphire and of brimstone, and the heads of the horses looked like the heads of lions. And you see it. Then again, that's talking about the power, man. The power of those missiles is like a lion, man. And literally, the power is where those missiles are going to come out, man. Literally, those what's it called, man? Yeah, those missiles are gonna come out the mouth of the chariot, man. Not the chariot. It's lucky my bad, not the chariot. It's gonna come out of the mouth of the ICBM. And the reason why it says is why. Can't lie, man. Oh. Yeah. And the reason why I made mention of the power of the horses, well, like lions, is because when it comes to those ICBMs, literally the power is in the head of the ICBM, and also in the tail. And when I say the tail, I mean it's the reason why when those missiles fly, you see the fire from behind, man. And not only that, you can literally go to the book of Joel as well. And even then, when you talk about these missiles here, the lion, the lion being a dangerous creature, and then again with the lions, they have claws, and they can dig their claws into what's it called, into its prey. They can dig their claws into its prey. They can dig their claws into its prey. And even then, I'm crazy, man. And what I can't believe is my family took my headphones. I don't know why they took it, because they couldn't control it with that little ADB shell. Crazy, man. So now to hear all these different distractions messes me up, man. Yeah, like I was saying, the lion can dig its claws into its prey, but the actual power comes from the lion's mouth, being its bite force. So when it's talking about the power of these missiles being as a lion, meaning that the power of these ICBMs is in the mouth, is in the mouth of it's in the mouth of the ICBMs. And like it says here, yeah, as it was, you know, let me read it again. Once I read it again, it will all make sense. And this is how I saw the horses and the riders in my vision. The riders had breastplates, the color of fire, and Hasnith, being sapphire, and of brimstone, and the heads of the horses looked like the heads of lions, and from out of their mouths came fire and smoke and brimstone. In that case, what it says here, burning sulfur. And literally, it's just burning sulfur. Literally, letting us know that these are indeed the intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. And it says, and a third of mankind was killed by these three plagues, by the fire and the smoke and the brimstone that came from the mouths of the horses. Oh, weirdo, man. Dude's still there watching me. Knowing that guy, man. Yeah, it says, and the third of the mankind was killed by these three plagues, by the fire and the smoke and the brimstone that came from the mouths of the horses, being that what's it called, man? Being that fire, man. Being that power, that fire. And so for the power of the horses to do harm is in their mouths. Let me read that again. For the power of the horses to do harm is in their mouths and in their tails. For their tails are like serpents, meaning the way they fly, man. Especially when the what's it called, the what's it called, the anti what's it called, yeah, the anti-defense systems. When they go into shoot down these missiles, they're going to look like a serpent's tail, man. Especially with the way, because of how they fly, man. And it says, yeah, for the power of the horses is in their mouths and in their tails. For their tails are like unto serpents, and they have heads. And they have heads. Guess what those heads are? The intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. And it is with them that they do harm. And again, Joel also had this vision as well. Joel also had this vision. And he said the exact same thing, man, as John. But he goes into a little bit more detail. Yeah, here we go. Joel 2 and 3. It says, a fire devour before them, meaning that power that John was talking about, being that fire that comes out of their mouths. And behind them, a flame burneth. Literally meaning when these missiles are set off, they're gonna fly, man. These missiles are gonna fly. So the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, so the sons of life, inhabitants and beauty. And it says, and behind them, a desolate wilderness. So yeah, when these missiles hit, it's going to be a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. And that's exactly what these intercontinental ballistic missiles are going to do, man. Especially to America. It's going to be burnt up, man. I know those other nations are going to help me. You're out here racing these cars for what? The Lord soon gonna take them away, man. The Lord gonna take them away. And that's another thing. What are they going to do when they can't afford fuel, man? That's the question right there. They're gonna tell you, oh, you gotta get the the tag, or should I say the MO. Actually, let me say it like this: the RFID, micro CHIP, either that or the brain CHIP. They're gonna tell you you have to go get it in order to get some fuel, man. And when that happens, a lot of you people are gonna be scared, man. You're gonna be scared. The chat's up there now. It literally covered itself with the clouds and then moved. All praise to Yahweh Shema Sham. And it's even then, I know exactly who gave him the information for all these police being out here. And I know it was Taylor. It was definitely Taylor who told him. It was definitely her, man. Yeah, and it says the appearance of them. And you know what? Ooh, this is even better. This is even better. It says our fire consumes before them, and behind them a flame burns. The land is like the Garden of Eden before them, but a desolate wilderness behind them, and nothing at all escapes them. So there you go, man. There you go. And it says here, the appearance is like the appearance of horses, and they run like war horses. And then again, if you go back into Revelation 9, where is it? Yeah, where is As it says here, yeah, it says here, Revelation 9 and 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, being that army, man, being those intercontinental ballistic missiles. And like it says, their appearance is like the appearance of horses, and they run like war horses. And if you see the war horses, you'll see them charging, man, running into battle. And it's like the noise of chariots, they leave on the tops of the mountains, like the crackling of a flame of fire, devouring the stubble, like a mighty people set in battle formation. So yeah, man. And it says before them the people are in anguish, all faces become pale. So as it says with terror, man, that's how these people are gonna be when they see the intercontinental ballistic missiles coming, man. They're gonna be afraid. They're gonna be very afraid. And so they run like warriors. They climb the wall like soldiers. And even then, when it's talking about climbing the wall like soldiers, it's talking about what's it called again? Yeah, in the older times they'll have these high walls.
What time is it?
Huh?
What time is it? 1 second, please. What time is it?
Oh, it's 11:45. Yeah. So yeah, it says they run like warriors, they climb the wall like soldiers, they each march straight ahead in line, and they do not deviate from their paths.
My nigga. No, this my cigarette though. I just got single. It's not mine, man. I'll give you that, but I'm gonna save it to a few more. I'll see if I got to have it.
And let's continue. So yeah, it talks about them basically getting over the wall, which the wall is is literally the anti-air defense missile systems, man. So yeah, they're going to get past they're going to get past the defenses. And then again, like I said before, these ICBMs cannot be shut down by any anti-air defense missile system. Because number one, they're too fast. And then again, it says it says they do not crowd each other. Each one remains in its path. When they burst through the defenses. And again, like I said, man, the anti-air defense missile systems, when they shoot them off, not one of them is going to touch the intercontinental ballistic missile. And it says they do not break ranks. Literally meaning these missiles are going to hit where they're supposed to hit. And it says they rush over the city. They run on the wall, they climb up into the houses. They enter at the windows like a thief. And yeah, man. Let me quickly have a look at this. As it says, yeah, a stealer or thief, and and even then, when you think of a thief, it's someone who comes in quietly, man. You won't know the thief is there until it happens, and that's exactly what these missiles are going to do, man. And what did Russia share about their ICBMs? They said they could send the ICBM in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, an ICBM over there in America. And even then that is not enough of time. It's not enough time to to escape, man. And especially these, what's it called, I forgot what it's called, man. But even as it says here, the earth quakes before them, the heavens tremble, the sun and the moon grow dark, and the stars lose their brightness. And again, this is going to be due to what's it called, to a mushroom cloud, man. And even then, going to the book of Isaiah 13. Yeah, let me read Isaiah 13 and Isaiah 13 and 5. It says they are coming from a distant country. So as it says, literally these ICBMs can fly from one part of the earth to the other. As a made mention of Russia. And it says, from the end of heaven, the farthest horizon, the Lord Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation, being his righteous anger. And it says to destroy the whole land. So yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to America, man. Like he says here, judgment on the day of the Lord. It says, well, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It will come as a destruction from the Almighty. And even then it says here, Almighty, all sufficient one, invincible God. And it says, therefore, all hands will fall limp, and every man's heart will melt. Then again, going into heart attacks, man. And it says, day of Babylon, or the door of Babylon being America, will be shocked and terrified. Pains and anguish will grip them. Yeah, they're gonna be afraid, man. And it says, pains and anguish will grip them. They will be in pain like a woman in childbirth. And it says they will stare aghast at the horrified at one another. So yeah, they're gonna be in severe pain, man, when they see those ICBMs coming from afar. It says their faces aflame from the effects of the unprecedented warfare. And yeah, that being World War III, man. That'd be in World War III. And it says, listen carefully. The day of the Lord is coming, cruel with wrath and raging anger, to make the land of horror of devastation, and he shall exterminate its sinners from it. There you go, man. That's funny, man. It says, from the stars of heaven and their constellations will not flash. Yeah, it says, will not flash with their light. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon will not shed its light. And as I made mention, now going on into the mushroom cloud, man. That's what happens when obviously when it explodes, man. The first thing you see is a mushroom cloud. And it says, in this way I will punish the world for its evil, and the wicked for their wickedness, being their sin or their injustice, their wrongdoing. I will also put an end to the arrogance of the proud, and will abase the arrogance of the tyrants. And even then, if you think about America, it's nothing but prideful, man. And it says, yeah, I will make a mortal man more than rare than fine gold, and mankind than the pure gold of Ophir. And again, that going into the songs of the Lord, man. They're going to be made rare, and the reason why is because of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that they have. It says, therefore I will make the heavens tremble, and the earth will be shaken from its place, and the wrath of the Lord of the Yahweh shall have hosts in the day of his burning anger.
Excuse me, you got a lighter, please?
What, me?
Fam, it's not my fags, look, it's a different fag, look, when the guy
Yeah, like it says, therefore I will make the heavens tremble, and the earth will be shaken from its place, at the wrath of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem shall have hosts, in the day of his burning anger. And like the hunted gazelle, or like sheep that no man gathers, it says each will return and go back to his own people, and each one flee to his own land. And that's what's going to happen, man. When these missiles come, and it says here, anyone who is found will be pierced through, and anyone who is captured will fall by the sword. And going into these intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. If you think about it, they're gonna be taking people out, man. Left, right, and center. And so their children also will be smashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be looted, and their wives ravished. And you already know what that means, man. And it says, listen carefully. I will put the Medes in motivation against them, being Russia, yeah, it says listen carefully, I will put the Medes in motivation against them. You have no regard for silver, and do not delight in gold, and therefore cannot be bribed. You see, when America will come round with the offers and the peace treaties, Russia is not going to care. They won't be able to be bribed, man. And it says the bows will cut down the young men of Babylon. being the what's it called, being the army, man. I said they will take no pity on the fruit of the womb, being pregnant women. The eyes will not look with compassion of the children. So yeah, even at that time, yeah, even at that time, when Russia decides to attack, they're not gonna care about pregnant women, neither the children. And that just shows you that it just shows you that they'll be in a time of wrath, man. Uh, United States here. Ezekiel 38 and 10 says, "Thus says the Lord Yahweh Shema shall have hosts. It shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought." So yeah, man. I didn't make mention here. They're not gonna, like I said, they're not gonna care about your children, nor the pregnant women. They're not gonna care. As I said, Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, will be in America. The beauty of the Chaldees, pride, will be like Sodom and Gomorrah. And when God overthrew them. So yeah, man. We know when the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, he left a few things there. If you want to think about it, he left a few things there. But this time, when the Lord's done with America, it shall be a desert, man. It shall be a desert. And it says, Babylon will never be inhabited or lived in from generation to generation. Nor would the Arab pitch tent there. So yeah, they won't be able to make no money in that time, man. And so nor would the shepherds let their sheep lie down there. Why? Because it's gonna be a desert, man. It's gonna be an empty wasteland. But it says, but the desert creatures will lie down there, and the houses will be full of owls, ostriches. Also will live there, and wild goats will dance there. So there you go, man. Like it says here, hyenas will howl in their castles, and jackals in their luxurious places, luxurious palaces. And Babylon's time has nearly come, and her days will not be prolonged. And even then, if you think about it, this is the Lord's visiting America right now, as we speak, as I'm sitting here doing this lesson right now. Where was I gonna go? As it says here, for behold, the day is coming, burning like a furnace. This book's amazing, bro. It says, for behold, the day is coming, burning like a furnace, and all the arrogant, proud, and self-righteous, and haughty, and every evildoer shall be stubble. So now you know who's gonna get burnt up over there in America, man. And even then, when you actually look at the prideful ones, that being Esau, Edom, man, and the Lord gonna visit them. And says, and in that day that is coming, shall set them on fire. I gotta read it again. I have to read it again. For behold, the day is coming, burning like a furnace. I know the arrogant, proud, and self-righteous, haughty, and every evildoer shall be stubble. And the day that is coming shall set them on fire, says the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Al of hosts, so that it will leave them neither root nor branch. Literally letting you know, man, those trees that are over there, man, they ain't gonna be there, man. The trees are gonna be taken out. And we know how deep these trees go into the earth, man. They go very deep into the earth. And then if they ain't gonna be there anymore, that just shows you, man, the power of these RCBMs. It's literally gonna take everything out. Ezekiel 22. Yeah, it says here, as they gather silver and bronze and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow fire on it in order to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger and in my wrath, and I will put you there and melt you. So essentially that's what's going to happen to these people, man. They're going to be melted in the midst of the fire. Yeah, let's have a look at this word furnace. Doesn't really say anything, to be honest. Ooh. Yeah, what was it called again? Oh yeah, this is the word fire in that, what's it called, in this text right here. This is a primitive word. Fire, literally or figuratively. Burning, fiery fire, flaming hot. And then it says, fire, flames, supernatural fire. Fire, this is fire for cooking, roasting or parching. And it says here, God's anger. And literally, that's exactly what the Lord gonna do, man. The Lord gonna send those missiles. And it says, and I will gather you and blow on you in the fire of my wrath, and you will be melted in the midst of it. And essentially, that's exactly what's gonna happen. As silver is melted in the furnace. That's amazing. As silver is melted in the furnace, so will you be melted in the midst of it. And you will know without any doubt that I, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai, I poured out my wrath on you. And essentially, that's exactly what's going to happen. Especially to them 2/3 over there in America, man. The Lord said he was going to get them. And the reason why is because they think they can sin. And everything's going to be good. They want to continue their wickedness. But now, man, the Lord's going to visit them over there in America, man. Yeah, Jeremiah 50:13. This is because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. She will not be inhabited, and that she be in America. But she will be completely desolate. Everyone who goes by Babylon or America will be appalled and will hiss or mock at, at all her wounds and plagues. So yeah, they're gonna see up close, man. And it says, set yourselves in battle formation against Babylon or against America on every side. All you archers, shoot at her. Yeah, so all those that have nuclear capability, man, fire upon America. They said, do not spare the arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. So then again, when the Lord's talking about gathering these nations, man, the literal reason why they're being gathered is to fight, man. And they're going to fight against America. And they're going to come upon it on every side, man. There's going to be no escape. It says, raise the battle cry against her on every side. She have given her hand in agreement and has surrendered her pillars. And it says, let me read that again. Yeah, so it says, raise the battle cry against her on every side. She has given her hand, or in agreement, and has surrendered. Her pillars have fallen, or being her walls are thrown down. Her walls have been torn down, for this is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem HaShai. Take vengeance on her, as she has done to others due to her. So yeah, man, all these nations are gonna come up and literally destroy America, man. and even then, yeah, and even then, now they got what's it called, they got ICBMs that can literally be moved about, or mobile ICBMs, and they got planes, they got warships that can also house nuclear missiles, man. So just imagine it, when all these nations come round and gather around America to completely destroy it, man. And it says, cut off the sower from Babylon, and the one who handles the sickle at the time of harvest. So yeah, those who work, man, those who work over there in America, the Lord says to cut them off, and that's exactly what's gonna happen, man. There's gonna be no more jobs. And it says, for fear of the sword of the oppressor, everyone will return to his own people, and everyone will flee to his own land. And essentially, that's exactly what's gonna happen, man. And even then, when they try to escape, they won't be able to, man. Because like I said, 30 minutes is not a long time for those missiles to come over. When I say those missiles, I mean 200 million, as John made mention of. And then again it says, Israel, or the 12 tribes of Israel, is a haunted and scattered flock, driven here and there as prey. The lions have chased them away. The first king of Assyria devoured them, and now at last Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, has broken his bones. And essentially, this is going to prophecy, man. And it says, therefore, thus says the Lord Yahweh B'Shem HaShai of hosts, the power of Israel. Behold, I will visit or inspect and punish the king of Babylon and his land, just as I have visited and punished the king of Assyria. So yeah, they're gonna get it, man. And so I will bring Israel home again to his pasture, being the land of Israel. And he will graze on the most fertile lands of Carmel in the west, and Bashan in the east. And his soul will be satisfied on the hills of Ephraim and Gilead. So yeah, man. Once America goes down, it's a wrap, man. It's literally a wrap. And it says, in those days and at that time, says the Lord Yahweh B'Shem HaShai, a search will be made for the wickedness of Israel, but there will be none, and for his sins of Judah, but none will be found. For I will pardon those whom have whom I leave as a remnant, yeah, being those that have been chosen by the Lord, man. Then they're not going to be taken, man. But then again, like I may mention, those two first, man, they're gonna be over there in America getting burnt up, man. Like I said, that's because they want to continue with their wickedness, man. And I don't want to listen to the prophets. It says go against Babylon or America, the land of the land of Mithraim, double rebellion. Go up against it and against the people of Pekod, or punishment. Kill and utterly destroy them, says the Lord, and do everything that I have commanded you. And again, that's how those nations are going to be called over, man. And since the noise of battle is in the land, then again World War III, and the noise of great destruction. How's the whole hammer of the whole earth being Esau Eden? Is crushed and broken. How's Babylon or America become a horror, a desolation among the nations? And again, that the Lord said him, and he was going to visit Esau, and not only that, expose him. This is my favorite part right here. Jeremiah 15:25. This is the Lord has opened his armory, and an armory is where the weapons are kept. And I've brought out the nations who normally are the weapons of his indignation or his wrath. For it is the work of the Lord Yahweh Shemel of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And it says, come against her from the farthest border, open her storehouses, pile it up like heaps of rubbish, burn and destroy her completely, let nothing of her be left. So yeah, man, the Lord is going to completely, the Lord's going to completely get rid of Babylon, man. It says kill all of her young bulls, her strength, and her young men. Also go into his army as well. Let them go down to the slaughter. And it says woe or judgment is coming to the Chaldeans, for the day has come, the time of their punishment. And then again the Lord said it was going to last an hour, man. It says, listen to the voice of the refugees who flee and escape from the land of Babylon, proclaiming in Zion, the vengeance of the Lord are power, the vengeance of the Lord and against the Chaldeans for plundering and destroying his temple. This is going into the saints, man. And it says, call together many archers against Babylon. Yeah, and that being all those that have nuclear capability, man. They're gonna be commanded to come down, man. Why? Because the Lord is gonna control them. Book of Proverbs. In Proverbs 21 and 1 it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So carrying on, it says, call together many archers against Babylon, or against yes, I call together many archers against Babylon or America, all those who bend the bow. And so all those that have nuclear capability. I camp against her on every side. Let no one from there escape. And like I've been saying, as it says, let no one from there escape. It said, repay her according to her actions, just as she has done, and do to her, for she has been proudly defiant and presumptuous against the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem HaShem, and against the Holy One of Israel. It says, therefore her young men will fall in the streets, and her soldiers will be destroyed. On that day, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem HaShem. It said, behold, I am against you, O Babylon. It says, you arrogant one, you who are pride and presumption personified, says the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem of hosts. For your day has come, the time when I will punish you. And even then, man, we know that according to prophecy, the MLTB has to come out. It has to be made mandatory. And even then, it's going to be made mandatory all over the entire earth, man. It says the arrogant or proud one will stumble and fall, with no one to raise him up. And I will set a fire to his cities, and it will devour all who are about him. So yeah, man, the Lord is going to, he's going to set fire, man. He's going to set fire to the whole cities, man. And even then, he made mention of this. He made mention of these people yeah. So like, let me read that again, man. This is the arrogant proud one will stumble and fall, with no one to raise him up. And I will set a fire to his cities, and he will devour all who are around about him. So essentially, they're all going to see, man. They're going to see the fire coming. And even then, going to Isaiah 47:1. So come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. He says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And the reason why it's known as a virgin. Damn. I want to take a look at wrestling. You know, like it says, gonna come down and sit in the dust. Oh, virgin daughter of Babylon. Like I said, the reason why it's called a virgin is literally because no one has invaded it or went to the door of Babylon to basically invade it. And it's just sit on the ground in abject humiliation. There's no throne for you, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for he will no longer be called tender and delicate. And says, take the millstones, or as a female slave does, and grind the meal. Remove your veil, strip off the skirt, and cover the leg, cross the rivers at the command of your captors. So essentially, the Lord is going to expose them. As it says here, your nakedness will be uncovered. Your shame will also be exposed. I will take vengeance and will spare no man. You know, that's when the Lord comes back, man. Okay, then go to the book of Revelation. Yeah, Revelation 1:7. So behold, He cometh with clouds or the chariots, and every eye shall see him. Yeah, because when he comes, nah, man. I know why my heart is racing so fast. Whew. Oh. And you'll have a little rest. I said, behold, he cometh with clouds, being with the chariots, and every eye shall see him. In which, when the Lord pulls up, what I'm going to see is his chariot, which is essentially, Edris said it was the size of a mountain. And we know mountains are massive. And says, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth. And again, those who pierced him being those Roman centurions, man. Literally lets us know that they're going to be there to receive judgment. And it says, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. Whew. Then go into that word wail. It means to cry out with grief. And the reason why, because when the Lord comes back, he's gonna have them chariots, man. Damn. He's gonna have them chariots. Yeah. He's gonna have them chariots. He's gonna have them chariots execute judgment, man. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, "For indeed the Lord will come, will come in fire, and his chariots will be like the stormy wind, to render his anger with rage, and his rebuke with flames of fire." Let's have a look at this. Go on to that word. Go on to that word fire, and it says it says burning. Damn. Oh. And what I'm gonna say is, if I throw up, you'll know why. So it says burning, fiery fire, and flaming hot. So now I wish I had some tissue, man. I actually need some tissue right now. So yeah, it makes mention of the chariots, or as it says, they're gonna come like whirlwinds, which when you go into it, it goes into a storm, or a tempest, which is a violent wind. And again, then it says whirlwind again. And then again, that means anger. It already says it, but yeah. And again, going to that word fury, going to anger again. So essentially, like it says, man, the Lord's coming with anger. And a lot of it, damn. So back to Isaiah 47:3. It says, your nakedness will be uncovered. Your shame will also be exposed. I will take vengeance and will spare no man. Our Redeemer, being the Lord, Yahweh Shem of hosts, the Holy One of Israel, sit in silence and get into darkness. O door of the Chaldeans, for you'll no longer be called the Queen of Kingdoms. Then again it says, I was angry with my people and profaned my inheritance, being a tribe of Judah, and gave them it says, and gave them into your hand, being the door of Babylon. You showed them no mercy. You made your yoke very heavy. And essentially, because they've done that, bro, now we know why the Lord's gonna send them missiles, man. And essentially going to Jeremiah 17:4. Yeah, it says here, Jeremiah 17:4, and thou, even thyself, so King Jeremiah, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knewest not. For you have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever over me in a long period of time. And then again, carrying on, Isaiah 47:8. It says, now then, hear this, you who live a luxuriant life, you will dwell safely and securely, who say in your heart or your mind, I am the queen, and there is no one beside me. Or essentially them saying that they're like God. I should not sit as a widow, nor know the loss of children. And essentially that being the placement. Revelation 18 Revelation 18:8 says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Hashem Hawashai who judgeth her. And essentially, when we continue reading on, that's what we're going to find out, man. That's what we're going to find out. And it says, Isaiah 47:9. But these two things shall come to you abruptly in one day. The loss of children and widowhood. They will come on you in full measure, in spite of your many claims of power. And I must read that again. And it says, but these two things shall come to you abruptly in one day. The loss of children and widowhood. They shall come on you in full measure, in spite of your many claims of power, or through your sorceries, in spite of great power of your enchantments. You're going to that witchcraft, man. And it says, for you, Babylon, or America, have trusted and felt confident in your wickedness. You have said, no one sees me. Your wisdom and your knowledge have led you astray. And you have said in your heart or your mind, I am is there and there's no one else besides me. Then again, these Edomites claiming to be like the Most High. And it says, therefore disaster will come on you, and you will not know how to make it disappear. I know it's crazy. You know what's crazy? The very word that's there, it says, with your magic, they won't be able to basically get rid of the things or the plagues that are coming with their magic. And disaster will fall on you, for which you cannot atone with all your offerings to you. That's funny. Yeah, it says, with all your offerings to your gods, and destruction about which you do not know will come on you suddenly. So yeah, man, them praying to these false gods, man, that's not going to save them. Mm-hmm.
There's another guy behind him. Yo, you're right. Oh, we just see on the floor, we never know you passed out or something.
It says, persistent Babylon, or the door of Babylon, in your enchantments and your many sorceries with which you have labored from your youth. Perhaps you will be able to profit from them. Perhaps you may prevail and cause trembling. But then again, that's not going to happen. This is Isaiah 47:13. It says, you are wearied by your many counsels. And going into them into those that do magic, man. It says, just let the astrologers, the stargazers, and those who predict by the new moons each month stand up and save you from the things that will come upon you in Babylon. And then again, like it says, in fact they are like stubble. Fire burns them. They cannot save themselves from the power of the flame. much less saved the nation. So essentially, America's going down, man. It's completely going down. It says there's no blazing coal for warming, no fire before to sip. So essentially, this ain't no ordinary. This ain't no ordinary fire, man. This ain't no ordinary fire. And even then, it tells you about this fire being the indignation of the Lord, man, being that fire. And says this is how they have become to you. Those astrologers and sorcerers with whom you have labored with, those who you have done business with, you from you from your youth. Each has wandered to his own way. There's no one to save you. So essentially, they're not going to be safe, man. The Lord gonna deal with them. The Lord gonna send that fire upon them, and it's all gonna be good, man. Essentially, it's gonna be good for the Lord's elect. Essentially, and even then, continue with Revelation 18, man. Revelation 18. Yeah, Revelation 18 and 8 says, for this reason, in a single day her plagues or afflictions, calamities will come. And it says, pestilence and mourning and famine. And she will be burned up with fire and completely consumed. For strong and powerful is the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai who judges her. And it says, and the kings and political leaders of the earth who committed immorality and have lived luxuriously with her will weep and beat their beat their chests in mourning over her when they see the smoke of her burning. And essentially, bro. Revelation 18 and 10 it says, standing a long way off and fear of her torment, saying, woe, woe, that great city, that strong city, the door of Babylon, in a single hour, your judgment has come. So yes, it's going to take an hour, man, to destroy America. And says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and grieve over her, because no one buys their cargo goods or merchandise anymore. Yeah, so those that what's it called? What's it called, man? Oh, I forgot what the word's called, man. Is it on the lines of not invest, oh yeah, import. Is it import? Yeah, so yeah, they import, man. Essentially, that's what America does. They import. So yeah, like it says, the merchants of the earth will weep and grieve over her, because no one buys their cargo goods or merchandise anymore. And then it says the cargoes of gold and silver, and precious stones and pearls, and fine linen and purple and silk, and scarlet and all kinds of citron or scented wood, and every article of ivory, and every article of very costly and lavish wood, and bronze and iron and marble, and cinnamon and spices, and incense and perfume, and frankincense and wine and olive oil, and fine flour and wheat, of cattle and sheep, and cargoes of horses and chariots, being literally no when I say being normal chariots, man. not the vehicles of the Lord, but those that basically, what's it called, man? They basically move the stuff over from one place to another. Now I forgot that other name. The truck drivers, man. And it says of and carriages and of slaves and human lives. So essentially, that's what they do, man. That's what they do. It says the ripe fruits and delicacies of your soul's desire have gone from you, and all things that were luxurious and extravagant are lost to you, never again to be found. Yeah, so all these things are going to be taken away from America, man. And so the merchants who handled these articles, who grew wealthy from their businesses with her, will stand a long way off in fear of her torment. So yeah, when they see the missions coming to get them, weeping and mourning loud. So, and it says, I'm saying, woe, woe, for the great city that was robbed. So, let me read it again. It says, saying, woe, woe, for the great city that was robbed. Is that the actual word, robbed? Actually, no, it's not robbed. Let me read it again. It's saying, woe, woe, for the great city that was robed in fine linen, in purple and scarlet, gilded and adorned with gold, and precious stones and with pearls, because in 1 hour all the vast wealth has been laid waste, and every ship captain or navigator, and every passenger and sailor, and who made their living by the and who made their living by the sea, stood a long way off, and exclaimed as they watched the smoke of her burning, saying, what could be compared to this great city? And essentially, that's when we say goodbye to Babylon, man. We're gonna say goodbye to Babylon. It says, and they threw dust on their heads, going to a silent mourning, and were crying out, weeping and mourning, saying, woe, woe, for the great city, where all who had ships at sea, but it said, woe, woe, for the great city, where all who had ships at sea grew rich from her great wealth, because in 1 hour she has been laid waste. And essentially that's what the Lord gonna do, man. He's going to take everything from America. And it says in Revelation 18:10, rejoice over her, O heaven, and you saints, or God's people, being the Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, including the Mexicans and some of the Indians. And then, like I said, you also got it's like farmers. He don't look like us, but they come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It says, and apostles and prophets who were martyred because the power have executed vengeance for you through his righteousness, through his righteous judgment upon her. So yeah, the Lord is going to execute judgment upon America for the literal reason of for the very things that America has done. Well, like he says, they've been martyred, so the Lord's going to do things, man. And it says, then a single powerful angel picked up a boulder like a great millstone and flung it into the sea, saying, with such violence will Babylon the great, the Babylon the great city will be hurled down by the sudden and spectacular judgment of God, and will never again be found. So essentially, the Lord is going to bring judgment upon America, man. And it says, and the sound of harpists and musicians, which we all know of America, man. They love their music. And when I say they love their music, I mean that's one way. They entrap people over there in America. And it says, and flutists and trumpeters will never again be heard in you, and no skilled artisan of any craft will ever again be found in you. And the sound of the millstone grinding grain going to no more work. Yeah, it says will never again be heard in you. For commerce will no longer flourish. And no more life will cease. And says, and never again will the light of a lamp shine in you. And you see when I read that, and never again will the light of a lamp shine in you. Essentially, if you go to America, especially at night, you'll see all the lights, man. You'll see all the lights over there in America. And never again will the voice of the bridegroom and the bride be heard in you. For your merchants were the great and prominent men of the earth, because all the nations were deceived and misled by your sorcery, your magic spells, and poisonous charm. Poisonous charm, you know. Another reason why the noise the serpent. And in Babylon was found the blood of prophets and of saints, and it says God people, and of all those who have been slaughtered on the earth. So essentially, yeah, man. Hang on. Crazy, I don't know how to take this damn thing off. Yeah, I just realised it's not coming off. It is not coming off with that loudest airplane, man. And you see the and the charts that uploaded. Literally no sound. Literally no sound at all. He's just letting us know that they don't even operate on this earth, man. Ah. Ah. Then again, yeah, man, it seems like I finished now. But yeah, I want to give all praises on and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai Shema Kakadash, man. Yang Shalom.